Sportsnite. I'm joined here with Marksville Football. Thank you guys so much for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
So, of course, we're going to just start off. Talk a little bit about that statement win that you guys had week 1 against rivals of Oils.
It's always a huge victory when you can open up the season and beat one of your rivals and, start the season off 1-0. And just kind of, you play Jamboree week 1, you get to play those two teams, but when it counts, we came out there at home and kind of had a big statement win to start off that season offensively.
And so for you guys, just talk a little bit about that rivalry game, being able to go out there and win 47-14.
It was a big win for us. Everybody wanted to win, but just in practice, doing what Coach them tell us to do, doing our right assignments, 11 hands to the ball, and just listen to what everything Coach them tell us to do, and we just come on top with the win.
And so, of course, for week 2, you guys went out again, came out winning against Church Point 36-28. So just talk a little bit about that game as well.
That was, one of those games that we kind of, I wouldn't say circle, but had it pinpointed going into this season. Lost to them last year at their place by 2. We knew how good they were going to be this year, returning what they returned, and it was kind of like a measuring board game for us. Let's see where we're at. We had that first week 1 win. Let's go into week 2, playing a talented, I think they were ranked 5th in the state, Church Point team, and let's see where our bar is, our measure stick on that game. And, it was a 4-quarter game, went through a lot of adversity, went through kind of every, team-wise, everything that you can face in a game, ups and downs, the ebb and flow, and ended up coming out on top and had made some crucial plays and, scored when we needed to. And it was just a good game for our boys, good game for them to grow as a team, and proud we got the win.
Both of you guys had record-setting weeks last week. So for you, Devin, you broke the single-game passing record with 388 yards. That record was set way back in 1964. Just talk a little bit about, setting up that record.
Yes, man. It's a good moment setting up the record, but the mindset that I had going into that week was just coming out 1-0 for the week, doing whatever my coaches needed me to do, being there for my team at all times, and that's all it was. But everything was good. When Coach told me I broke the record, I was proud.
And in the moment when everything, the game's happening, the crowd is yelling, did you kind of know that you were breaking that record in that moment?
No, ma'am, I didn't know. I have no clue at all.
And for you, Coach, to be able to see him break that record that, was holding back in 1964, what does that mean for you and your program?
It was a great moment just for me watching this kid when I came 3 years ago as a freshman, just a little kid learning the offense, learning how to be a quarterback, and then to watch him continue to mature. And you could see it last year as a 10th grader getting a full season under his belt. As the season went, how much better he was getting and understanding what we want him to do as a quarterback. And then this off season, he kind of hit it hard in this off season in the spring game, moving into the summer workouts. And we put a lot on him. We put a lot on his shoulders, leading this team and being that guy. And to have this moment for him to end up breaking the record that's been held since 1964, it was a surreal moment for me that he got to accomplish that. And like he said, I don't think he had any thoughts about I didn't even know what the record was, so they told me after the game. Of course, 1964, but just to have him hold that record now is just a big accomplishment of what he does and what he means for this team.
And so not only was 1 record broken week 2, 2 records were broken. So Armani, you had the single game receiving record with 259 yards set back all the way in 2019. So you talk a little bit about breaking that record.
It's a very confusing moment because I'm still new to football. So when they told me that, I'm like, what you mean? And they kept explaining to me how big of a deal it is. But I was just still stuck upon the part how he broke his record. I think I was just more proud of him than me breaking the record. So I ain't really have a real reaction to it yet. It's probably gonna hit me down the line, but.
Yeah, when I announced it in the locker room, he just looked at me like, what does that mean? You broke on 5 catches, to say the least. 5 catches, 259 yards, 3 touchdowns. And so I announced Devin's first, and then I said, we have 1 more record broken. And he's standing there, and I said, Armani, you broke the single game receiving record. And he was just looking at me puzzled, well, okay, good, I guess. Congratulations.
So for you guys as a program, what does that mean, going into this season, going now 2-0 in the first 2 weeks? Just talk a little bit about being able to break those 2 records, and how does that kind of look up for the season?
I think it's a testament to the work they put in. They're being shy right now, but, they put in a lot of work, and they come in and, records are good and records are made to be broken. But I think we have a mindset of a team of what we want to accomplish this year and what we want to do team-wise, and those things just happen to fall into place for us. It's a great moment, enjoy it. They get to hold those records, and, we're looking forward to next week.
Well, thank you guys so much for coming in and coming on Sportsnite.
Thank you very much for having us.
and we'll be right back right here on Sportsnite.